Hey guys, it's Ted Bogert. Welcome back to the Ted Show. Today is a special show. These four gentlemen plus me, we have all been named as finalists in the Ultimate Connector for Orlando Real Producers, the Orpies. And we're going to talk about what that means, but the whole point of this show is to introduce my four friends, talk a little bit about what it means to connect, talk about collaboration in our industry, and learn a little bit about them. Welcome, gentlemen. Thanks for doing this for me today.
Thanks for having us.
Great to have you. Great to have all of you. Cheers.
Cheers to you guys.
Cheers. Back to the water. All right. Thank you, Frankie. All right. So it is a big honor for us to be finalists in the Ultimate Connector. That's the male version. There is a female. And it is actually a big deal, I feel like. And so every year, or it's been a while, 2019 is the last time I think that Aaron had the awards live, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I could be wrong, but I think that it is coming back. We have a big event September 8th at Hard Rock, and that's where we're going to honor all of our people who have been nominated, who are finalists. And so these four friends of mine, we all run in very similar circles. We all get along, and I just wanted to spotlight them, highlight them, and show people that the Ultimate Connector finalists all connect and love and appreciate and respect each other. So without further ado, I'm going to start with the person next to me. We're going to do a little intro and then tell us about you, Bobby, and tell us a little bit about what you do. And then let's talk about connection as we do.
Okay, awesome. So Bobby Davidowitz. I've been in the industry now for about 20 years, started in mortgages back in the day. I've been in Orlando now 38 years. So talk about connection. I 38, 39 years. I love Central Florida, originally from Puerto Rico. Kind of came back into the game 8-9 years ago through some investment side as a real estate, and then partnered up with my partner, Gil Ramos. At the time, he was a broker for a franchise called Exit Realty. And, just kind of became an influencer, a connector, a coach within the office for many years. And then we decided that we were going to partner up together. We didn't know at what, and, we were kind of waiting for that thing. We were waiting for that connection, right? And then there was a connector named Carlos German who just kept, like, hey man, you got to take a look at this EXP thing, blah, blah, blah. And we're like, we pushed him off for years, at least Gil did. I didn't even know who Carlos was really. And then finally we kind of got together and we looked at it and me and Gil decided that's what we were going to partner up on. So for the past 3.5 years, that's what we've been doing. It's kind of just growing an organization, building culture. I think that's probably what I've learned most of the past 3.5 years. Speaking of connection, is just really, kind of the energy and the connection that it takes to build a culture. And that really culture is just a set of beliefs, and it starts from the top, it starts from whoever starts the culture. But now I always say, like, I don't, we call ourselves the Alliance Group. I always say, like, I don't own that culture. They own the culture. Yes. All Gil and I did was kind of found it and be the catalyst to it. But right now it's just, seeing so many people grow is just, it's a fantastic journey, Ted.
And you were the dad for a while, right?
Dad. So they used to call. I was director of agent development for a long time, so they called me Dad. So I was the dad of the office for many years, meaning I coached all the new agents that came through. So from zero, like a lot of the people that actually are not even nominated now are people I coached, like Deontay Lawrence, Corinne, Julie Marr. All these people, and then obviously I'm partners now with Veronica and Carlos, and they're all nominated as well. So it's just incredible, and to be in this category with you guys, it is really special to me because I know you guys are all major connectors and influencers in the industry, and obviously I've been friends with Teddy B for a while. Been drinking with him at the Citrus Club from time to time. So all good, man. Appreciate you having me on.
I'm excited to have you on. And I think it's so cool that you shared that because I believe that a lot of people think being an Ultimate Connector, it's all about drinks. It's not. People believe it's all about.
It just helps.
It certainly helps. It's the lubricant. We can talk about that.
Lubricant.
It's right, John. That's right. But I think it's so important because I think people are afraid sometimes to connect. They don't understand the power of connection. They don't understand why all of us would be in a room and still connect with each other, make introductions, talk to each other. So I think it's really important for people to understand that connection and collaboration is actually the key to a successful business. That could be a whole another show. All right, Frankie Liz, you're up. Tell us about you, Frankie.
Man, that was a grand introduction by Bobby. I'm just I'm kind of the new kid on the block. So my wife is actually she's a senior loan officer. We actually had our own branch. We actually just partnered with actually her old business partner, which is Nate Cassidy. So now she's hometown lenders, and I've been kind of, because of the connector situation, I've automatically been upgraded or promoted by her as her business development manager. So that's kind of where I come into play.
Congratulations.
So I report,
man.
as far as that segment of my life, I report to her, and I'm her business development manager. And my job is basically to make connections for her. But my background is pretty extensive. I've actually moved here when I was 12 years old, and my family actually started a business out here. And it's what John was mentioning earlier. It's a Daniel's Cheesesteak House over in Winter Garden. So, growing up as a kid, I've pretty much, I didn't have a elementary school life. I didn't really have a middle school life. It was all about business. I'd be picked up from school and automatically taken to the business. And, I helped manage some people in there with them when, since I was 16. So it's that was kind of where all this started. And, from then on, I broke away. The connections or relationships that I've learned, I got a sales job over at Radio Shack when I was 18 years old. And through there, I made a Radio Shack, guys, over in West Oaks Mall, over in Ocoee. And I know, right? A lot of people won't know what that is now. But I happened to make
that place too. That was a thing.
Man, it was crazy over there, but learned a lot. Got honed in on my sales skills, and was able to make some connections. And I was offered a opportunity to open up my own cell phone company. I was the first Verizon Wireless authorized agent in Tampa at the age of 20, and I opened up 3 cell phone companies out there. So, long story short, moved back to Orlando. Sold my company. I would say that it was a huge learning curve being 21 years old, operating this major business with no bookkeeper, and it was a great ride. I could tell you, it was a great experience. So moved back, was going to go into real estate, and going into real estate, a lot of people in the class were actually working at places like Westgate and Orange Lake and vacation ownership. I got my real estate license. And when I started hearing their numbers at the time, it was kind of one of those decisions that I made. I said, you know what, I'm not going to go into real estate. Let me go into vacation ownership. And I did that for 18 years. So I was a senior leader of 18 years. So it's so for a lot of people that know me, I was the senior leader of Orange Lake Country Club and Resorts, and still help manage the family business over at Daniel's Cheesesteak House. And all throughout my relationships and all, I figured right around the COVID area, I said, you know what, I said I'm gonna try to figure out a way to because as all of COVID hit all of us in a strange way. And in my world, it shut the resort down for 2.5 months, and that was huge. So I'm sitting at home kind of doing this for 2.5 months. And I said, you know what, I said, this isn't what I want. So of course, I took all the relationships I had over the years and people that were strategically placed in certain businesses, and I aligned and got with them. And lo and behold, we opened up a bar in downtown Claremont. It's a very successful bar. It's called the Roasted Spirit. I own a cigar company called Everyday Cigar Club. I also am partner over at Wine Agents, which is a liquor store over in Claremont. It's a 5,000 square foot liquor store. And so I've just kind of at this point diversified, and it's been a heck of a ride, but now I'm here. And I recently I figured, I said my license isn't active. It's been inactive for a couple of years, and the wife has actually had situations where she's dealing with clients, and they're orphans. They don't have a realtor, or the realtor that they have isn't performing. And I said, let me do something with my license. So I recently just activated it with LPT Realty.
Congratulations.
I just figured out
Apparently so. First of all, my liver just voted for you for Ultimate Connector based on all of that information. So
how many jobs you got?
It's been a hell of a ride, but it's been fun. So this is where I'm at right now, and I'm still trying to grasp my schedule and all my
Out of
time.
that, I got liquor store, bar, and cheesecake.
No, cigars.
What's the other? Cigars, yes. And then
Why don't we hang out, Frankie? I don't
I
understand.
Yes,
You're at your bar right now.
cheesesteaks.
Daniel's cheesesteaks in Winter Garden.
Yeah, I'm at my
All
bar
right,
right now.
thank you, Frankie. Thank you. All right, Johnny Russell, what's up? Tell us about you, my friend.
So, started in real estate in 2009. I was in sales for a while, and that's honestly where I started kind of becoming a connector. When I was in sales, that's what you do. You're constantly connecting. You're meeting inspectors, meeting title people, meeting lenders. You're that quarterback for the transaction. So that's kind of what got me into like this connecting role. And I don't like to be the smartest guy in the room. I like to surround myself with a lot of smart people. And through founding or co-founding Mainframe with Sean, that's what we've done here is we've surrounded ourselves with amazing agents. Like your vibe attracts your tribe, right? So we don't have hundreds of agents. We just have a lot of really good agents. And our agents are also very well connected. So I really can't take all the credit for being such a good connector because I just surround myself with great people who also help me connect with a lot of great people. I mean, Ted, I met you very early on in my career at the Citrus Club, and I always thought you were the ultimate connector. So be nominated in this category with you, I feel like
Agreed.
Agreed.
Yeah, it's an honor. It's an honor.
I saw me next to Teddy. I was like, oh my God.
Everybody, but I feel like what makes a great connector is asking great questions, being inquisitive, and just learning about other people. And then you kind of pick up little nuggets along the way. So, I love asking people like, what do you do? How'd you become successful? Frankie, I think when I first met you at the Mover and Shaker networking event, I just love asking people like, what'd you do? How'd you get there? How'd you become successful? Like, how'd you open a bar, a cigar place, like all these things. So I ask all these questions and then I just kind of keep that in my head. And then when something comes up, I'm like, oh, I know a guy that's got a cigar bar. Or, oh, I know someone that has a great, Philly cheesesteak place in Winter Garden. And it's just being inquisitive. And that's what I've always done. And, it's why I like being a broker. For those of you who don't know me, I'm the co-founder and the managing broker of Mainframe Real Estate. We have a powerhouse of agents, but I just like being surrounded by amazing people. And it makes it easy to connect people when you always have someone that's coming in and out of your life that you can, connect with. So
Beautiful.
Not as elaborate a story as
it's really good. No. And I want to talk more about the connection, but last but not least, of course, we have the one and only Ryan Plaza is with us. Ryan, welcome. What's up, buddy?
Hello. Super grateful to be out with all you guys. I feel like I'm the newer kid on the block. Teddy B, I knew you for a while now. I think outside of real estate, we connected. I'm going on my third year in the industry. And I actually started in January and COVID was that March. So I remember doing my 90-day review inside of COVID, thinking like, where's my job? My job is to go connect and bring real estate, do events and bring agents to the company. And that really got shut down. So a little bit about me. I actually traveled to 48 states teaching marketing to agents. So I was able to take that experience in my connector. When it comes to connecting, I just feel like if you know me, I love people. Like I just truly just genuinely love people. I think that we just have four walls in a business if it's not for the people in it. And then my philosophy is always the more that I can help people get what they want, I'll ultimately get what I want. So I've helped people get what they want way before I ever took something for myself. But I've always felt like in the long run, that just has aided my career and helped me get exactly to where I want to be because I'm always pouring into people. And then one of my first mentors always told me, like, make people owe you something. Like, not that they're going to give it right back to you, but always put people on the offensive. So I'm always like pouring into people. My thing is like, I want to be 5 up on you, right? Like I want to give you 5 favors before you everything, because then you're going to owe me 1. And, that's just always been my mindset. So I just keep pouring into people. And then I got to team up with my best friend, Zach Blesnick. I've known him for 11 years since I moved to Orlando. And I just took that connecting skills and my marketing skills working with RP. I was in the original LPT team when it was just marketing. So I was over there with him. So I took those skills and was able to bring it over here with my best friend, Zach. And I'm the account executive business development guy here.
And all of you do an amazing job. Thanks, Ryan. You guys do such a great job. I think when people see us out see us out at an event, it's almost like if you're not at an event, they wonder where you're at. And I think that that's a testament to what you all do. I love the pouring into part, Ryan, because I think that's what all of us do. We pour into other people. We, like John said, we're inquisitive. I think when you lead with, one of the things that I think a connector does best, they don't lead about themselves. And you all are amazing at not. I never feel like it's about what the transaction is. None of us are transactional when it comes to relationships. We're all about the relationship. And I think that's where the connector part comes in. People, I'm sure they say it to you guys all the time. How do you know so many people? Well, like Ryan said, you pour into them, you begin to invest in them, you learn about them, and then you figure out how you can build a relationship with them. And I'm a big believer in planting seeds, which I'm going to guess you guys are too. So you plant the seeds. If that seed comes back, great. If it doesn't, you know you're going to be blessed, and the other seeds are going to come back, and you're going to generate business, generate whatever it is that you want, all that good law of attraction stuff. Tell me what you think the ultimate connector. What's the ultimate connector for you? When you think of a connector, let's try to keep each other out of this. When you think of a connector, who do you think of? Who's the first person that comes to mind? Somebody that might not be on this, because I think people want to know, hey, Bobby's accessible, Frankie's accessible, Ryan's accessible, John's accessible, Ted is. We're not unaccessible. But who do you guys look at and go, God, that person is really good?
Well, I guess I'll start. But
yes.
It's funny when we, first of all, I got this text message from one of our people in our organization and a coach, John Marone, and he was like, hey, let you know I voted for you. And I was like, all right, what are you talking about? Right. And it was funny. So when I looked into it, I was like, oh my God, this is Orlando Real Producers. This is a big honor. And the reason it's a big honor for me is because Aaron Luden is actually the guy that I would think of. Aaron Luden has connected me to so many people over the years. He just has a heart for it. And like literally, I will walk into the fitness club and he flags me down. He's like, hey, you need to meet this person right now. And I don't know how many times he's actually done that. And it's always a fruitful connection, right? And so I would say absolutely, like for him, that's what I thought. I said two things. Number one, I'm in the category of Teddy B, so I'm honored. And and the fact that I'm ultimate connector from the guy that I believe is actually the ultimate connector, which is Aaron Luden.
God, that's good.
Yeah, solely.
I should have gone.
That's
first.
why I went first.
All right, Frankie.
I was gonna say that too, but
Me too.
I got to figure out another connector, right? I mean, no. Listen. I have great business partners. My business partners, and they're not in the real estate industry. Derek and Lewis, and I have a couple others, but they're just people that I know that I can rely on. That at the end of the day, it's what you said. It's fruitful, but it's not saying, hey, like let's make this connection because I think it'll benefit me. It's hey, let's make this connection because I think it's actually going to truly be a connection.
Oops. I agree, Frankie.
Speaking connections.
All right, John.
I think he lost his connection.
How about you, Johnny?
I mean, I got to agree with Bobby. I mean, Aaron Luden is definitely I kind of want to piggyback on what Bobby said. Aaron Luden has brought together our real estate community like nobody else has, with the Real Producer magazine and with the Orpies and with his Orlando Masterclass. I've gotten to know so many more people. And we're going into different markets. Like when I, step out of the Central Florida market and I go to a different market, you could just see they don't have that sense of culture like we do within our real estate community. And it's because of Aaron, because he puts everybody in that room and it allows them the chance to make that connection. So I definitely got to put my hats off to Aaron. But I will say the original connector, Ted, it's you, man. You're the one that comes to mind. Because before I even met Aaron, and I actually think I met Aaron through you, believe it or not. I think at the Citrus Club, I might have met him through you. But I'm just honored to be in the category because I feel like, I don't connect nearly as enough as you and Aaron.
So sweet. I'm honored to be here too. Thank you,
Ted. I've heard great things about you. I don't know you personally, and I know we might have had one sit down, but I actually met you through Aaron at the Citrus Club. So Aaron and I were actually
right.
Aaron and I were actually chatting, and you happen to walk in, and he's like, "Oh no," he goes, "You got to meet this guy." He goes, "You got to," and he's like, "Come on," and I'm like, "All right, let's go." And that's when we connected. And obviously, I know now being in this circle, I know amongst all you great people is it's everyone has talked very highly of you. So,
y'all, I did not set this up for that. Thank you so much. That is so kind of. I'm blushing. All right, Ryan, all you.
Man, I'm tired of going last because they take all the good stuff, man.
You were late.
I'm just going to piggyback on literally what Frankie said, what John said. I would agree with all those sentiments. Aaron, man, he has been just that ultimate guy, right? I think that, and then I would like to piggyback on what Frankie said, is the characteristics, right? It's the characteristics of exactly how Aaron does it, that he does it unselfish, right? To where he wants that connection for you both to actually grow. He sets that connection and he steps out. And I think that's what a great connector does, is that there's people that connect people with that ulterior motive. I think an ultimate connector is just saying, hey, there's two powerful people. You guys should meet, you guys should connect and do good business. And I'm just going to remove myself. And then I have to piggyback what John said too. Ted, man, you're like right there with Aaron, man. You just connected so many of us. You're like the unofficial president of the Citrus Club. So do I want to win? Yes, I want to win. Do I mind losing to you? Absolutely not, because you're a great connector.
All right, y'all are really, you made my day. Thank you. Here's the thing. I agree with you about that. First of all, thank you. Bottom of my heart. I agree with you about Aaron. Aaron has connected me with more people selflessly than anybody I think I know in this area, anybody really. And there's always just a Ted, I want you to meet. There's never a meet them because. It's always just, let's make the connection, make it pure. He knows when good people want to get together, and he's always trying to promote everyone else. And so I would absolutely agree with all of you that, in my opinion, Aaron really is the one who sets the bar for ultimate connection. When I saw who was a finalist, I thought, how cool is this? I'm friends with all of them, and all of them are amazing connectors. All of you have the same heart for connection. You do it in a way that is selfless, I believe. You do it in a way like when we go to events, there's no weirdness. There's no, oh my God, he's a realtor and he doesn't send me business, so I can't talk to him. I can't talk to Ryan because Ryan works for Home First and I don't. There's none of that. And I think that is a testament to each of your characters and your belief system, and the fact that you are creating this world where people feel comfortable being with you and working with you, and they want to be around you. So in my opinion, I'm honored and humbled to be part of this with all of you. Of course, we have to mention our one person who's not here, Rusty. Yeah. Rusty, I guess we'll buy our own vodka. Not sure where you are, my friend. But honestly, it was such a big deal for me to do this because I wanted to spotlight how collaborative our industry can be. Because in a world right now that we live in, where their collaboration can be a challenge for a lot of people, and there's a lot of naysayers and a lot of stuff going on, it's so cool to be with people who just want the right thing for the right person at the right time, whether it benefits them or doesn't. And that's what all of you, to me, represent. So thank you for coming on. I appreciate you guys. You guys got to vote. So I will put the link after in the comments section below, but let's tell them how they reach each of you. And we'll start with you, Bobby, and we'll go to Ryan after you. So Ryan doesn't have to be last. So Bobby, what's the best way to Bobby?
I've been, so recently I've been building kind of the coaching brand, Coach Bobby Franchise. So I'm really focusing on Instagram. So if you go at Bobby Franchise, you can reach me on Instagram. Yeah, man, I think that's the kind of the new deal now. It's like kind of, and speaking of connection and kind of spreading that energy and stuff, is like I think all of us have reached a level now where like pouring into people is kind of our job, right? So and coaching's part of that. And like I said, honored to be here. And I was going to piggyback on something John said too, which is like kind of to sum up everything that everybody said is like, number one, if you're going to be a great connector, I think you got to love people. I don't think you're ever going to be a great connector if you're really pushing through this thing, right? Like I'm an introvert, people, whatever, Another thing is that we show up, right? So, if you're going to be a connector, you can't do it inside your house, right? So, you will see us out there at these events that, strategically, like I was like, you know what? Rusty actually put it in the message. I was like, I'm going to show up because I was like, yo, better to be right next to Teddy B, right? And then, like you said, have that heart to like pour into folks. And I think you got to be a great talent scout. You know, I mean, we don't connect everybody to everybody, right? You know, we are all very judicious about, you know, the people that we meet, you know, and the quality of the person, and also the quality of the person we connect them to. Because
you nailed it.
The one thing connectors never want to do is ruin their connection, right?
You don't want to ruin your credibility either.
It's
you know, at the end of the day, I'm not. You have. That's a gift. You have to understand who you're connecting and why you're connecting these people, and are they really going to bring value, or are you just bringing a bunch of quantity? And that's very tough being in I would say this type of industry where everybody knows everybody. You know, there's just a lot of people. I mean, how many realtors are there? You know, how many lenders are there? You know, it's a huge,
and often you do that over
huge
time.
number.
Yeah, it's like sometimes, you know, like early on, you'd be like, oh, I just connect this person, that person. Then you realize how important these relationships are. And so, you know, I like to vet both sides. I want to make sure that the person that I'm connecting them to is the real deal. And so is the person coming through. And that's why we ask a lot of questions now these days. Like, hey, if I'm going to put them together with this person, I want to make sure that it's a win. Right. So I know that you guys all operate like that, but I wanted to kind of just put that out there to the people so that you understand that, you know, I built my real estate business on this. I've never bought a lead, because this is how you can do it, right? So you can build relationships and actually do this in real estate and make a ton of money by simply being a great connector, relationship builder, and cultivator.
Agreed. All right, Ryan, second, not last.
All right, where to find me at? It's where to find me, right? That was the question?
Yes, that's the question.
Bobby just ran off with it.
I love it.
That's what I do, man.
That's what he does.
You can reach me at 321-427-9602. That's my phone number. And I use Instagram probably the most. That's RS_Plaza, like a shopping plaza. And yeah, man, I'm here for anything you guys need.
Fantastic. All right, John Russell.
So yeah, you kind of said it, Johnny. So my Instagram is Johnny Russ. That's probably the easiest way. I had it before real estate, so it would have been a more professional name. Johnny Russ on Instagram.
Johnny Russ.
It's probably the easiest way to get a hold of me, or just come by the Mainframe Real Estate office. I'm usually here.
Fantastic. All right, last but not least, Frankie.
One more thing. I want to say one more thing. Is I like what Bobby said. I think the biggest part about connecting people, it's like connecting. It's making sure it's a good connection, but also I like to match personalities, right? Because if you match personalities, it becomes a lifelong friendship. You know, if someone loves to ski and someone else loves to ski, and they also both are like in real estate, great connection because they have that bond outside of real estate too.
Or matchmakers.
Basically.
Much.
All right.
Yeah.
And you
All right,
get
Frankie,
a lot of
last but not least.
you get a lot of happiness too out of seeing their success. And if you see their success and you see them growing, naturally, when it comes time, like what you said, hey, like what Ryan was saying, hey, if I do it, you know, 4 or 5 times, you know, they're going to owe me. But it's not necessarily they got to owe you, but you know, when the time comes and you're saying, hey, I know, like, this is now what I want to do, and I know this person would actually be great, and you go to them, you still have that credibility, you know, and obviously all that comes into play. But you can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram. It's very simple. My name is simple. It's Frankie, Frankie Liz. And that's my username on Instagram and Facebook. And then when you go there, all my companies are there. I'd love to extend out that, you know, having these, you know, businesses now have allowed me to assist a lot of real estate agents, title companies. I'm not out there to get rich on all this stuff. I truly, genuinely like to help people. So like title companies that reach out that say, hey, let me get 20 cases of champagne or whatever it may be. You know, anything that I can do to assist, closing gifts, things like that. I've been more than happy to do that. Agents, I've been giving them an incentivized discount, you know, to help them out. So I'm not out there to get rich over all this stuff. You know, obviously all this is fun and it's great, but I genuinely love to help people. So
I love it. All right, gentlemen, you guys are amazing. Honored to be with you. I mean that. You guys go vote. We'll put the link in the bottom. Anybody you vote for here is going to be representing just perfectly. They're all great human beings. I love each of you. Guys, get out and vote. Not just this vote, but the other vote. I'll throw that out there. Thank you, Frankie. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Bobby. Thank you, Johnny. We'll see you guys soon.
Thanks
for
Ted.
tuning in.
Thank you,
Get
Teddy.
involved. Connect. These are the ultimate connectors.